Welcome to today's episode of Life with Impact podcast. My name is Lasi Matshidiso, and I'm your host for the She Can Be Anything series. You can access all our podcast episodes on our website, Spotify, Apple, and our YouTube channel, Impact Online. Last week, we had Bonnie Cooper, entrepreneur and business owner of Goddess Cafe and Miss Cake. This week, we have Dr. Malebo Mashaba, a clinical psychologist who has dedicated the past 15 years to advocating for mental health in Africa, culminating in her PhD. Dr. Malebo Mashaba enrolled at the University of Limpopo in 2003 and earned her Bachelor of Psychology degree. She then enrolled in 2007 at the University of South Africa, where she earned her Master of Arts degree in Clinical Psychology. In 2017, she pursued her Doctor of Philosophy degree at the Northwest University's Mafikeng campus, where she embarked on studying the psychosocial pathways to psychological well-being and mental health of Nyalpe users in rehabilitation. She is currently registered as a clinical psychologist with the Health Professions Council of South Africa. Dr. Malebo's calling is devoted towards enhancing the mental health and wellness of employees in corporate and governmental sectors, which earned her the CEO of the Year Award in Tanzania in November 2024. This is all just the half of who Dr. Malebo is. Let me finish it. Continuing her journey of excellence, Dr. Mashaba has further been awarded the Mental Health Specialist Award by the Emerging Brands in Africa Awards that were hosted in Zimbabwe in March 2025. She is the chairperson and founder of an NPO, Action for Change, which addresses substance abuse, in particular Nyalpe addiction, teenage suicide, bullying, and depression amongst young people who cannot afford nor cater for access to mental health services in South Africa. Dr. Malebo, that's a mouthful. That is one person. There's not like 3-4 of you guys. No, this is all you, just you alone.
I'm listening to you and I'm trying to figure out, oh, wow, how did I get here?
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence. We have been eagerly waiting for this opportunity. Thank you for making the time. I hope our chat is going to be great. Like I said, I'm Lasi Matshidiso, and we are recording the She Is Anything series. So to begin with, I want to ask you, can you describe what it is that you do in one word?
Yo. After reading so much of a paragraph, you want one word. Oh, wow. I'm a healer.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Tell us about the industry you are in.
The mental health industry, it's a big industry. Just like any other medical field. But the field that I'm in, it's a field that for me, I see it as a calling, that no one gets to be part of that field if you have not been called to serve humanity. As I've said that I'm a healer. You work with people, you get to understand them, and you get to also bring transformation and impact in their lives. Yeah. So it's one of those most sensitive field because you deal with human beings, and anything that has to do with human beings, we know it cannot be to create harm or inflict pain, but rather to heal, to bring evolution, to bring change. And yeah, it's challenging. Hence, I say, for me to be there, it's a call.
So we know the how you got into the industry, but what made you decide to study this? Because I mean, at 18, 19, when someone's applying and they're deciding, nobody thinks I'm going to be a healer.
You know, I grew up with my background. I remember while I was still in primary school, like I would meet homeless children, and I will be coming back from school with them, coming home, you know, and I will share food with them. I've always been that person that always including other people and caring for them the most. Like I can vividly remember how it would touch me seeing another child not in the same position as I am or eating what I was eating at that time. But I did not have the understanding. All these memories, I could reflect on them once I got to the other side. Because post-matric, I wanted to go and do dentistry, as I remember. I wanted to do dentistry, so that was my option or law.
Oh, okay.
So I did not go into the dentistry field. I remember for me, you know, it was not easy because most of the time, remember, people think that you get to where you were, it means things were easy for you. I remember after my matric year, I stayed home for 2 years.
Oh my.
Yeah, I stayed home for 2 years because of the challenges that we had in the family then. And, I had the pressure to go and work. My mother always remembers how stubborn I was, insisting that I'm not going to go and work. I want to see myself go to school. So it was during that 2 years that a lot of things have been happening. And eventually I got an opportunity to go to University of Limpopo. Then it was called TEFLOP, University of the North.
Okay.
Yes. So when I got there, I just found myself wanting to go into psychology. I don't know why. But it all started making sense while I was doing my master's.
Oh my goodness.
I tell you, I finished my bachelor's at University of Limpopo. And after that, and it's also, remember, once you've qualified, then you want to get into the program, the master's program.
Yeah.
It is also one of the most traumatic experiences you can go through. You ask everyone who's trying to get into a master's program, they will tell you how traumatic it is. To an extent that you have to at least apply to 6 universities because any interview might not go well.
Sure.
There it is, Malebo. I decided I'm going to just apply to one university.
Wow.
And it was a one shot and I got in. It was so great. No, it was just grace. I don't want to lie. It was grace, the way things unfolded, and I got in there. I remember this, and because also the selection process is very intense. We were 7. They selected 7. So we were 7 ladies in my class.
Sure.
And also of color, I was the only person of color in the class. So you can imagine the pressure. I will say that the reason I say it's a call as well, you have to go through the valley and the fire, to be purified and get to where you're supposed to get to. So it was only when I was engaging in my master's program, I started realizing that no, because the part of the master's program, it has theory and practical.
Okay.
So practical, we used to go to Mamelodi, to the YMCA in Mamelodi every Wednesday. So the more I was engaging there and offering therapy in that field, it was like deja vu for me.
Oh my.
And then it connected me to how I used to live while I was still in primary school. Because, Mamelodi is a community.
Yes, it is.
And everything started coming. And I saw how I was fitting in the whole thing and, getting to help people effortlessly. Like it was as if this thing is inside of me. Though we know, we study and we had all these things to grasp and pass exams and all that. But for me, it was like, this thing was just an oil into my body. I was just, just meshing so well.
You even sound so passionate.
I tell you, it's this is why I say it's good to discover your purpose, because then everything is done effortlessly. So
yeah. 100%.
Discover it and you'll have peace. That's what it brings. So,
I love that.
Yeah, and when I was doing my master, I realized this is a call, and that's when I discovered my call as well. And when God has called you, and this is the career that I'm doing, because a clinical psychologist is a healer.
True.
Yes, it's a healer. You sit in therapy, they come and they tell you their problems.
Yeah.
You have to help them through that and eventually for them to recover.
100%.
So a clinical psychologist is a healer. So for me, and that's what God has called me to be, Wow. So I'm in the ministry of healing. So
it's a
just,
ministry.
So it was just alignment. It was just alignment. And from that point, for me, my approach was then different, because then I could find that this is my foot and this is what God has called me for. And, no matter what, and I started attracting the kind of people that I'm supposed to help.
Sure.
And even during the training, they will tell us that as you grow deep into the profession, you will start attracting a particular set of clients. Some attract adolescents, some it will be children, some it will be adults, your couples, marriage issues.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's exactly that. So with me, since I think I graduated in 2009. Yeah, 2009. Yes, since that time, all the cases that I've been having are cases that I've been attracting all over the 15 years. And that's what God has graced me to be good at. I don't want to lie. It's and it fulfills me.
Sure.
You work on something, this is what I'm called to do.
Good.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you even get the feedback and the referrals. Others tell the others. You find somebody sitting in the office and saying, they told me that you are the right person for this, and I don't even know how I do it, Like I said, if something is inside of you, it just flows out.
Yeah,
You cannot give what you don't have.
100%.
So that's what happens when you do what you're called for. You're pouring out what is inside of you, and all that, and you feel fulfilled at the same time.
Sure.
And you want more of that, and you're not filling up yourself with something that does not align with you.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into this field, and I think it's by grace that what I felt I wanted to do and what God has called me for eventually were in alignment.
Yeah.
And as a result,
Yeah.
I did not end up doing something that God did not call me to do.
Sure.
Being frustrated in your old age that there's something that you're not fulfilling and all that. So I'm happy. I don't want to lie. I'm happy. If there's one thing that I can do without hassle, is this: give me any case. Give me any case. That's me. I tell you, somebody listening will think it doesn't happen. But with me, I don't want to lie. The same way someone will say they can lay hands on someone and they are able to get healed and they will be healed. It does happen. You sit around, you get into rooms. I get into rooms and things are not the same again. That's the aura, that's the grace that I'm carrying. So you can imagine if you are aligned and you're doing the right things, then God is able to use you until such a point that He feels that you've done enough, my daughter, then you can come. Yeah, but otherwise, I'm enjoying the profession. For me, like I said, I don't even call it a profession. For me, it's a call.
Yeah,
it's a call, and I'm working in it.
Wow, Dr. Malebo, you love what you do. You don't have to convince us. We are all convinced. Thank you very much. We might all just become clinical psychologists now because of you. You make it seem so easy. So thank you for that. With everything that you now have mentioned, Dr. Malebo, and you've touched on it, but I just want us to get into a bit more detail. Okay. What is your favorite part of what you do? I understand that it's the healing and seeing the people get better, but what about that for you makes you feel part of your fulfillment?
Yes, I think we're all called for humanity. If I might not be able to reach everyone, but if there's one thing that I can do and it impacts someone's lives, it fulfills me.
Sure.
Because I know that in life we are a chain connected, though it's a chain that we cannot see.
Yeah.
I'm also a mother. So for me, with everything that I put out, I know eventually it's something that will also come back.
Oh, through your
yes,
son's daughter?
I've got boys.
Oh, boy, mom. I also have a son.
I've got boys only. So it's fulfilling for me because I also get to see the greatness of God as well. Because I need to also experience that. Sometimes we think it is what people will come and do to us that we're always looking for, and then we say we'll be fulfilled. But what about sometimes it's what you do for others that will show you that indeed, God is there. Yeah. God is with you. It doesn't have to be you being in the receiving end. Because we're most of the time, accustomed to that, to say, if only I have this, I get this, then I see these are the results. But sometimes you are the result.
Yeah.
But you need to get to realize that you are the result. But you find yourself sitting and looking for something, but you are that thing.
Sure, Dr. Malebo.
So this experience of being in this field has made me realize that, I'm the thing that is being sought for. I'm the thing that people are looking for, and I am the thing.
You are the thing, Dr.
Yes, I am the thing. So I don't have to look for anything outside of me.
Yeah.
Yes, it will be results coming in, people giving you feedback to say, yes, that thing that has been given to you, it is working. It is real. Sure.
So now I want to know this, Dr. Malebo. It's a two-part question that I want to ask you.
Okay.
So I read your research concentrated on substance abuse, and specifically, I think there was a part where it mentioned that you dealt with specifically females at some point. And now also being people who come from the location, township setups, and we see the things that happen with the teenagers, and especially being prone more to boys, especially with boys in that sense. So my questions are, The first one, having sons and having to have patients that you see being young teenage boys who are going through all these substance abuse, drugs, and the likes. And also having done your research with females, what is it that you see that are different factors? What is it that you see that makes girls be prone to drug and other substance abuse, and women and boys likewise? How I don't know if my question is making sense.
Yeah, there isn't much of a difference because from my research, I mostly looked at the psychosocial factors, which will be your background factors, home environment, the community they find themselves in, and we know that both genders, they are exposed in we found them on all the peri-urban or even urban areas. We will find both genders, and also exposure to different family dynamics like your domestic violence, that is the substance abuse that might be taking place, that is a pre-exposure for them. Both genders do experience it. So
there's similar dynamics.
They are similar. Okay. There are similar dynamics, but the only difference will be in terms of how that affects them. Because remember, a female body is not designed like a male body.
Yeah.
If you've noticed that how those who are addicted to nyaupe, both a girl and a boy, when you look at them, you will see that the female body, the female one, will be more one that is their bodies is affected, especially physically. Really? Though the boy, you must notice that though they do lose weight, all of them, but in the long run, you will see that more impact. The female will be displaying a lot of attributes where you can see that there's an extreme damage. Maybe because also remember, as a woman, we tend to be more focusing on beauty, to look more attractive and taking care of yourself. So you can imagine if you are a female and you used to be you look pretty before. Once you are addicted, a lot of things change. Your physique changes a lot. So there's been that, and with me raising my boys, and I don't know whether it has been grace or what, but I have not been much worried about them getting that kind of exposure. Maybe because also the information that even during my research, they've been part of it. They know about what my PhD was all about.
Really?
Yes, because remember, I've got the youngest one is 8.
Okay.
So when Kumo was born, I was getting my degree.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. At that time I was getting my degree, so it's almost like he will get to know. But the brothers, they know a lot. They know a lot about my study. I also acknowledge them in my study because these are the people that were seeing me going into my study room and having to do much of the work. So, and also, when you are given a field to be in charge of, it's information that you need to impart. So I haven't been doing my work thinking that my family is immune. So this is the work that I've also been doing at home. Yes. Yeah. So I do have some of my cousins who will be saying, she's coming. We know this is what she's going to say, So I did not want to keep anything away from anyone. If there's anything that I know it's coming, they would know. So for me, they know my belief is that I rather give you information rather than later saying, but you should have done that. So I give everyone the exposure that is needed, and they make their own decisions. So that's the similar approach that I use also with my children. That you think that no, because they're doctors' kids, maybe this is how they're living. No. They know we go to Marabastad to get something. They know that they will complain their way through that to say, what kind of a place is this? But they get to say that because that's the reality of life, and we know time is flying and we don't even know what will happen tomorrow. So it's kind of that you go into the field and you see what is happening. Don't think that similar cannot visit you.
Sure.
So you need to open it, to expose yourself. And I'm so glad that you see a lot of parents these days trying as much as possible to expose their children to life. as it is.
At their earliest
yes, because most of the
convenience,
time we think we are raising them well, only find that we are protecting, we're being overprotective of what they're supposed to be knowing. And once they are out of the home, I mean, the society teaches them almost everything.
Because if you don't control it, society will help you, ne?
Yes,
Yeah.
no, and with flying colors, I don't want to lie. So it's very important that we also do our part. Yes, I mean these are the challenges that we are sitting with on a daily basis. That we shift responsibility to the streets. To do the job in the name of I'm a very busy woman, I'm a businesswoman, I don't have time for that. But if we need to strike a balance in terms of that, but also remember this also takes a point where as a parent, that you get to realize what are your shortfalls.
Yes.
Because even in the field where I am, it also helped me to deal with the shortfalls that I had in my life, the weaknesses that I had in my life. I did not just get, just bloom like a flower to get here. There were storms, there were hurricanes, and it took a lot. And I mean, I can narrate my story the whole night, and you ask yourself, how did I get to push myself to get there? I never thought I'll be here. Though, the vision my late grandmother will give is that she always knew that I was going to be someone great in the future. But I look at when she was saying that and the journey. It's been a lot. I've gone through a lot. I've had incidents where I nearly lost my life. Situations where I had to fight for myself. Situations where I even had to fight for my own business. It's been a lot, but it had to take a lot of resilience. And one thing that has always been grounding is that the point that I have known that this is my purpose and this is what God has called me for. I did not give myself this thing. It has only been God. It will only take God to take that thing from me. So that's what has been pushing me.
Sure,
I've fought my way.
Anyone.
No, I don't know. It's the experiences. I don't want to lie. It's the experiences that have taught me that you will have to fight for what is yours. Yes, you have to, because even if you know that some things will drain you, will drag you down and what, but shielding that thing because it's a legacy.
It is.
Yes, it's a legacy. So. It hasn't been easy. I don't want to lie. I've fought physical battles. I've fought spiritual battles. So, and it never ends. It never ends, unfortunately. But the good thing is that every battle that is victorious, it takes you to another level.
True. 100%.
Different people, God introduces you to different levels, to different people and things also to do and assignments as well. Because it all goes like that. The same way I wanted to study and get my PhD, that is the physical world. But also in the spiritual, there's somewhere also where God is taking me. So I need to also excel in that.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think one thing that we've realized with life in general, every level where you go higher, there's a new demon. It's like It's like the demon at the beginning doesn't do much, and then the moment you go and you elevated, there he comes. I'm telling you, and the demons and it's like they do push-ups. I don't want to lie. It's horrible. I tell you, it's not easy. I'm sitting here. It's even this morning I was reflecting on our meeting, and I thought, sure, I've always wanted to have this voice, or just to breathe. Just to breathe, because it's been a lot. Yes, it's been a lot to stand to where I am. For the past 2 days, I think also I've been receiving compliments from like your delivery guys, like, who, your smile, why are you laughing? I'm like, what? And the moment I got into the house, I got another compliment, and I was asking myself, what's going on? And I look at all the battles that I've been fighting recently, and this is where I got to a point where there is peace. And yes, it's because, you move from that level and you get into another level, and victoriously so, and you get to see that everything changes. Everything changes, and you get to grow through the experience as well. So I did not just
grow up to get to being Dr. Mashaba, smoothly so. Yeah, there's been battles that built me. There's been wars that built me. You know, there's been memories that I had to celebrate. There've been memories where I had to be disappointed. You know, memories of loss where I had to lose people from in my life. So every kind of a downfall that you think people go through in life, I would say 90% of those things I've already experienced as well.
Sure.
So it's a matter of, you know, being resilient enough to know where you're going, because that will always be a reminder for you, even when life hits hard. It's all those little reminders to say, but you remember why you are here for, why. And you know why they say the thief does not break into an empty house, right?
True.
So I got to grow and understand that, though as difficult as it is, and I think with even those who came before us, they will tell you that, you know, the battle never stops.
Yeah.
It never stops. You will go through a battle and then you're victorious, but there's still something that is going to come.
Sure.
And then you'll be sitting in front of another minister and you say, you know, this is what I'm going through. And he will just look at you and like, you know, if only you can know what is it. After my so many years, 40 years of ministry, I still experience, you know, what you're going through is nothing. So alignment for me is very important. Alignment, and also embracing your experience. To say, even as you are asking about my research, to say, I learned not to keep anything away from my environment, because the same thing that I see out there happening, it can also come to my side, or any of my loved ones, anyone. So it's more as we share a community of knowledge, you give everyone information. This is what is happening, because tomorrow can be your son, tomorrow can be mine. It's how it works. So if all things are going well, you know, it's glory to God. You know, it's glory to God. But things can change at any given moment. And being able to see that with what God has given me, I'm able to help the others. Because mostly my passion has been around, as far as substance abuse is related, has been around the young ones.
Yes.
And like I said, it becomes effortless, and these are the group of people that I can relate to. They're able to understand where I'm coming from, and I'm also trusting God that in the near future I'll be able to even do much more. You know, because it's different things for different folks.
Yes.
And when you walk with God, there's obviously His way, not your way,
100%.
and His will and not my will. So I mean, I don't want to lie. Also through the study, God give me an opportunity to be able to impact children's lives, you know, and also to take the weight off the parents, because in the midst of all this, parents are taking a lot of strain. From the cases of Nyaope, taking a lot of strain, and you know, with all the society, what we have, the stigmas we have in our society, which we cannot avoid. We find that a lot of parents that are struggling with such kids are unable to come forth to avoid stigma, labeling, you know, and all that. But, you know, I think this should be one of the platforms also to encourage them to come forth, you know, to come forth. There's a lot of women that are going through that, a lot of parents that are struggling with children who are addicted to substance abuse, and they end up where even in their communities they're being labeled as well. Things, you know, it's like your child has been stealing for the longest time. You are given names, and whenever you appear, you are attending events in the community, in the township, everybody's just staring at you because they've got a way how they identify you. But, you know, we are here to restore that hope, to say, you know, you are what God calls you.
Sure. But now, Dr. Malebo, with that just diverts us a bit. I just want to know, what do you say to a parent when they are in a situation like that?
You know, it's not about what I say to them. It's creating a conducive environment for normalizing where they are.
Sure.
Because you go through that experience and you think I'm the only woman that is experiencing this thing.
Yeah.
This thing only happens to certain kind of people, and it cuts across everyone, culture, age, or whatever social standing. Whether poor in the family or even the wealthiest, they do have children who are addicted, and severely so.
Yeah.
So it's not all about what I would be saying, but me being able to create that space for them to exist,
Sure.
because that's what people need.
Yeah.
To say, it's okay. What I'm experiencing, it's okay. There is nothing wrong with that. But with that being said, is to say, help them to see where the ball fell off.
Do you ever get scared when you're dealing with a certain case where you feel like this one might be too much, this one might be beyond me?
Maybe while I was in training, but I think with the years of experience and also walking through this with God, it's sometimes I would even know most of the time I would know about a case before it even gets to my office.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
because when I deal with all of the work that I do, I always pray about it.
Okay.
So if I know there's a child that I'm seeing tomorrow, and maybe a 15-year-old addicted, and this is what is happening, I always pray about it. Because I don't want to create more damage.
Yes.
Number one, I've mentioned this in the beginning, it's all about humanity. So I pray about it. And if there's anything that I need to know or do to help, so that I don't fall short in that moment.
Sure.
So I would say that I've always been graced that whoever lands in my hands, I'm graced to be able to carry them through that process with what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
There might be other things that they might not be attended to, but all the time, what I will rejoice in is seeing myself being able to do what I know. This is what God has given me to do.
Yeah.
So it's rare for me to have instances where it's so horrific, but it will be mostly with parents. You'll have a parent that is agitated, parents that have lost hope. I've had a lot of those. They've lost hope because remember, you move your child from one rehab to the next.
Yes.
Nothing is working. We've got a high rate of relapse in South Africa, back and forth into rehab facilities. Why is that? And it also impacts on the parents as well.
Of course.
Let's put aside the financial implications of that. But emotionally, having to watch your child that you gave birth to going through that, it's so sad. So most of the time it's ending up with such parents who feel that I've done my best. Some parents come with the attitude where they say, this is the problem, deal with it.
Sure.
And we know when it's like that, it's and that is understandable because remember, they also have their own experience that they have, including the child, the one that is addicted. They've got a different experience as well. Hence, you cannot treat the two of them separate. It has to be a holistic approach to deal with the problem. Because remember, eventually, when this child goes home, they're going into a community. They need to be integrated first within their family before they're integrated in the society. So you can imagine if you're not going to align their parents together with the program of helping the child. Yeah. The two are still separated. Yeah. So it's more of the same. So you will have parents who come in and say, I've tried everything. This is actually my last resort. With the cases that I've had where they will say it's my last resort. I've seen like the hand of God moving. I don't want to lie. I'll give one example. This one is one of my biggest testimonies that I don't want.
Please,
I will not. And I think it's gonna go with me. This one. There's one rehab facility. I won't mention its name. It was owned by a white pastor. So it's a big one. I don't know now. So there were boys there. There were boys there, and there was one who the parents actually said this is their last resort. That place is their last resort. So the pastor invited me to help.
Okay.
Yes, so the pastor invited me to come in and help. I remember in my first arrival, I was like, can we please host a night prayer?
Okay.
Malebo. Yes, I said, let's host a night prayer. And the pastor was like, okay. They had bouncers in there. There were bouncers as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a trend. I mean, it's a trend.
Okay.
Yes, it's a trend. There were bouncers there. And then they offered. They said, no, okay, for the night prayer, we'll need the bouncers to be there because it gets bad.
Okay.
The moment we go into prayer, it gets bad.
Okay.
So the bouncers will have to intervene and all that.
Okay.
I remember telling the pastor to say, you know what, I don't need bouncers. It will be fine. And he said, I was like, are you sure? So I said, yes. It will be fine. I don't need bouncers. The bouncers must come and join in the prayer night.
Yeah.
We had a half-night prayer. Wow, I've seen the hand of God moving in that place. I don't want to lie. The following morning, we did not need any bouncer. We had our prayers. We prayed. I prayed for everyone. We finished the service. The following day, I get early calls being asked to come over to the facility. I went to the facility, and as my car got to the gate, all the boys were rushing to the gate, and it was this joy, and I was like, what's going on here? I get everybody's happy and all that, and then they start telling me that they slept for the first time since they've been there. They slept.
My goodness.
They couldn't sleep. Some were tormented, by all these spirits they were experiencing through their addiction and all that. But then we get to the core of the testimony. There was one young boy brought by the parents who had said, no, this was their last resort because they've tried everything, nothing is working. The young boy was addicted to it's crystal meth, to a point that he was not responsive. You greet him, he's not saying anything. You ask anything, he can't even say no or yes or no. I spent some moment with him, and the rest was history.
He started talking.
Yeah, I had a session with him. I had a session with him, and I also prayed. I prayed with him, and as usual, I finished my day there, and then I left. Yeah, and then it was another call in the morning. Come and see what the Lord has done. And I got there, and the boy was a different boy altogether.
Sure.
He could speak, ask him his name, he could tell you his name, knows where he is. Are you okay? Yes. And he was even laughing, yesterday, the day before, he was not responsive. It was so sad. And so I say this is one of my biggest testimonies, that actually it was a confirmation point for me to say, yes, indeed, God, this is what you've called me for. That was, I don't need any other thing. I don't even have to prove myself to anyone. That for me, that was it. And, my life never changed before. And because, when I had this prompt to go and do my PhD, because it was on Nyaupe, it's been years. I think I only after 8 years, that's when I decided to be brave enough to go for it, to go for this PhD. I had it, and before I could go for this PhD, I just went into rehab facilities, helping, working there. But the push was go and study this. Because we know in the physical world, you also need to meet the standards.
Of course.
So that's what I did. So it's through the study that I get to see the other dynamics of what happens in the physical. Because remember, God will give you the spiritual understanding. Yes. So I had to create a balance. So now the two meshed.
Yeah.
The two meshed. And that's how Dr. Mashaba got to evolve until where I am, and I'm still a project in in progress. Yes, in progress. It never stops. It never ends. So that was my experience, and I got to see that, you know what, alignment is very important, and discovering your purpose. And pushing through, because then you'll be in the right place at the right time and be impactful, and that becomes fulfillment for you as a person. So it has just been as pleasant as that, and as I've said, it's progress. It never stops. One thing follows the next, just like that.
Sure. Dr. Malebo. Wow. What a woman. Wow. I just want us to wrap up, because we can sit here the whole day.
Yes, I told you.
Just wrap up with the theme that we have in mind, that we are currently with, in terms of the Malebo Mashaba Foundation that you're helping with also. And
I'm looking forward to that.
I know, the gala. Me too. I'm very excited. Can you just share a little bit about how you got into that, and with the current theme, She Can Be Anything, how that resonates with you, and what is it that you would encourage, or with what you do with them as the foundation, what is it that you think that you leave when you go there with them, with the women that you meet there, and listening to them and experiencing them?
I think I will start by saying that for everyone that is looking forward to the event that is coming, I'm a full package. I'm a full package.
Yes, Dr. Malebo, ladies and gentlemen.
I tell you, no. Like I've told you, I've now gotten my voice, and with the experience that you go through and the fire that you have to prevail over, you need to know your foot. That this is where you're standing, and this is where Dr. Mashaba is at this moment, and I know that I am a full package now. This is an event not to be missed, and as I've said, that with the theme "She Can Be Anything," that there is no better truth than that. It doesn't matter what you've been through in life, what they have called you, what you've experienced, what you have lost, what you have acquired. You can still be that woman that you want to be. That little girl that has been resonating, crying out all loud, because we lose our voices, we lose ourselves, we lose our being through all the experiences that we have, whether it be it traumatic, whether be it grief or anything that you might have been through. We lose a certain part of ourselves. And, because life is a puzzle that has to be completed all together. If we don't find ourselves embracing that piece of you that got wounded, you end up thinking that it's not going to happen or it's not possible. No, you can still be that woman.
Sure.
You can still achieve that goal. You can still rise above whatever situation you've experienced. And I think with them having an encounter with me in that event, I don't want to give all the juice out. No. It's liters and liters. We can call it a tanker for that big tanker. So it's a lot. So even on that day, it will still be a lot. For me, it's to encourage them to show up. If you feel that you need a revival, that's what I will call it. If you feel that you need a revival, you need a restoration, that is an event, that is a place for you to find yourself in on the 9th of August. Because this is also calling for a time for women to unleash who they are.
Yes.
And whatever level that God has called you for, that is the greatest level for you. Because most of the time we find ourselves, comparing ourselves, that thinking that the highest level is when you have reached here there. Why? Because you've seen somebody reaching there and you think that's the highest level. No. You need to sit with yourself, be revived, and discover which level did God call you for?
Yes.
And where as well. Because we lose ourselves through life experiences to get here, and you feel like you can just take in anything. You can just tolerate anything. You can just allow yourself to be treated anyhow. And it's because of our learned experiences.
Yeah.
But we are here saying you can be anything. come for a revival, come for a restoration, and find your place and recover your voice and achieve your highest, your best self. And remember, you cannot be any other woman. You cannot be Dr. Mashaba. You can only be yourself.
Yes.
So let's help each other find ourselves, because it's an inside job.
Yes.
And most of the time, we run away from those projects because they require a lot from us, right? But like we said, the theme says you can be anything. She can be anything.
Sure.
So let's help each other find that ball that we dropped, whether it be it while you were 17 or while you were 18, whether you were 20, you were 30, you can still pick up that ball and become anything that you want to be.
Sure. Dr. Malebo Mashaba. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You are
It's a
incredibly
pleasure.
inspiring. You're very encouraging. And I am absolutely thrilled that we had this sit down. We look forward to seeing you on the 9th of August. It's going to be fantastic.
It's a pleasure.
And thank you just for coming, for making the time for us. We appreciate it so much, Dr. Malebo.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Last words of encouragement, anything that, you know how I asked you for that one word in the beginning? I need the one word to close it off now.
She can be anything.
10 out of 10, Dr. Malebo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.